As we kick things off today, the Environmental Protection Agency has renewed Enlist product registrations with new control measures. This means Enlist corn as well as Enlist soybean producers in 32 Nebraska counties will have restrictions on the use of two herbicides. Enlist 1 and Enlist Duo have both been issued 7-year registrations by the EPA. Both herbicides that are applied in Enlist soybeans and Enlist corn are generally used for control of glyphosate-resistant mare's tail, Palmer amaranth, and water hemp here in the Cornhusker State. Bearing this in mind, the EPA is requiring the implementation of protective measures as a condition of the product registrations. Nebraska Extension Weed Management Specialist Dr. Amit Jhala filled us in on some of those restrictions being imposed on Enlist products.
In other counties, there are some additional restrictions. For example, if rain is anticipated in next 48 hours, then they should not use Enlist 1 or Enlist Duo. Now, they can also not use when soybean is at full flowering stage. So basically, they have to stop applying Enlist 1 or Enlist Duo when soybean is at R1 growth stage, means that is the beginning of the flowering stage.
One of the biggest factors behind these new restrictions is the fact that these products could cause harm to several endangered species in Nebraska, many of which reside in the counties that are directly impacted by these changes.
This is because to protect the endangered species. So in Nebraska, particularly in those counties, US EPA found there are some endangered species are there. For example, American burying beetle, which is an important endangered species on the list. So just to protect them, this decision was taken, and I believe this is not only for Enlist 1 and Enlist Duo, but in future when any other herbicides will go through this review process and re-registration process, they have to go through the same process, and I'm expecting more and more restrictions on use of the pesticides in general.
For those who have already purchased Enlist C, they shouldn't push the panic button by any means. Amit tells us there are several other options and management techniques that producers can enlist from their collective weed management tools.
There are some other products. For example, we always recommend to start with a good pre-emergence herbicide that should be applied within a few days of planting corn or soybean. So that is our first recommendation. And any pre-emergence herbicide can be applied even in Enlist corn or Enlist soybean, which is labeled. So there is no change on using any of the pre-emergence herbicides. When it comes to post-emergence herbicides, we still have some other options. For example, you can use glyphosate-based herbicide such as Liberty, or even glyphosate-based herbicides you can still use.